Okay, for today's practice, let's start on our backs. You're gonna lie down on your back, and what I like to do when I'm here is to walk my feet out a little bit wider than hip distance and allow my knees to fall into each other. That way they can kind of relax into each other. And then wherever your arms feel comfortable, if you like them out to the sides or on your belly or your chest. See if you can lower those shoulders away from your ears, kind of open up through the shoulder blades and your upper back. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, you can do that. And let's practice Samavriti, square breath, today as we center ourselves into our practice. And the square breath, you're going to inhale typically for 4 counts, but you could adjust that based on your breath. So inhale for 4 counts, and then you retain or hold your breath for 4 counts. And then exhale for 4 counts. And then retain again for 4 before starting your next inhalation. So I'm going to let you do that at your own pace. So you're welcome to count to 4 at any pace that matches that natural rhythm of your breath. Go ahead and do one more square breath, Samavriti. Once you finish that, just go into your natural normal breath. So our centering piece to yoga is just a way for us to mentally and physically and spiritually prepare for our practice. Just a way to kind of unplug from the earlier days activities and bring our awareness into our breath and into our body and prepare for our yoga session. So if you feel pretty good and pretty centered, go ahead and reach those arms above your head and we'll stretch out those legs. You're going to open up through the rib cage. Just like you're waking up, open those fingers, open the toes. You can squeeze the muscles into the bones on your arms and legs. And then let's curl up into a ball. And as you do that, if you want to lift those shoulder blades up, draw your nose towards your knees, you can. Or you can stay back. Might try giving this a little rock if that feels good to you. Okay, leaning your right knee into your chest, let's lengthen out that left leg all the way down. And then that leg that's up in the air, if you could rotate that ankle a few times in each direction, you can lay your head back on the mat. And then cross that bent knee over the straight leg. We're going to just do a gentle spinal twist. As you do this, if you have a block available or a blanket or a pillow or a cushion, if you want to put that underneath that leg to give it some support, you're welcome to do that. And the opposite arm can extend out in the T position. You can put this hand on the outside of the thigh. And now traditionally, we leave both of the shoulders down on this, so your knee may not be down all the way. However, I like to advocate to just kind of listen to your body and explore that. So if that shoulder comes up a little bit and the knee comes down a little bit more and that feels like a sweet spot for you, that's okay too. And do what works for you. That's a nice rotation, gentle rotation of the spine. On your next inhalation, go ahead and engage those abs to support your spine as you come up. And we're going to switch legs. So bring the other knee into the chest. Lower that leg down nice and strong and long. And pull that knee into the chest as you rotate your ankle in each direction a few times. And then when you're ready, you're going to take that bent knee over the straight leg into that gentle spinal twist. Dang it, I know I turned off my AC before I came in here, so I don't know what just happened. So I must have got a hold of it and turned it back on. Sorry about that. So the good news is when I record this and I post it to YouTube, I can edit out the background noise. So, but I apologize for that sound. Okay, let's come back to our center position, engaging those abs to support your spine. And then extend that leg out. We're going to walk our feet over to the corner. So let's bring them over to the left side. And keeping that on both cheeks connected to the mat. You're going to reach your arms up and you're going to lean to the side. So the arms also go to the left. So you create this banana shape. As you do that, just make sure both shoulder blades are also stay connected on your mat, so you're not lifting up on one side. And then to expand this position, you can lift up your right ankle and cross it over the left. It's a nice lateral flexion of the spine. Nice way to open up through the rib cage, lower back, obliques, muscles around your waist. And even a little bit, I feel a little bit in the hip flexor area, that iliopsoas. Okay, let's release that heel and bring the arms to center. We'll just switch sides. So walking those feet over to your right corner as much as it feels comfortable, and leaning with those hands to your right. And when you're ready, left ankle lifts up and crosses, and try to keep those legs pretty straight. Okay, let's release that heel, come back. And walk those feet up so they're right under the knees. Hands come down to your side with the palms down. And we're just going to rock that pelvis. So we'll start by pulling that belly button in and tucking the tailbone under, lifting your bottom up off the mat. And then let's roll back through that sacrum, that triangle bump of the spine. Open up through the belly, maybe a lot of space underneath that back. And just keep rotating that pelvis. Sorry, my hamstring is cramping out a little bit there. Okay. Just rocking forward and back. Tucking that tailbone under and then pushing. And then this next one, when you tuck your tailbone under, keep on lifting. It goes all the way up one vertebra at a time. And we're going up to our bridge, which will just be kind of a mild extension for the back. Sending energy through those heels, which are still underneath those knees. Try to relax your jaw, your neck. Okay, let's come down one vertebra at a time. So we're lowering from the upper back behind the shoulder blades. If you can articulate down, all the way down, mid-back, lumbar, low back, sacrum, and then eventually your tailbone. Great. And then walk those feet really close together. Open up those knees as the soles of the feet touch together in that Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined butterfly. You feel an opening in those inner thighs as adductors. You know, this is super intense for you, putting some blocks underneath your thighs. A little bit of support might feel nice, so go ahead and feel free to do that. And then engaging those abs. Go ahead and pull those legs together. Walk your feet back out to about hip distance apart. Hands behind your head. We're going to do a little core session before we move on. Great way to warm up the body, build up a little heat. So draw those elbows slightly forward as you exhale. Bring your shoulder blades off your mat. So I think about my arms like an accordion, rib cage to the hip bones, and come back. Exhale, lift. Inhale, return. We'll do one more just like that. That's working the main rectus abdominis. And then we're going to switch to a crisscross. So opposite shoulder to the knee. This is working the obliques. Get those warmed up. And I think about bringing my shoulder to the knee versus just the elbow. Get a good lift and twist. You can go as slow or fast as you want with this. I usually do the exhale as I cross and inhale as I pull back. Let's do one more set. Okay, relaxing that head down, bring your hands to your side. The more gentle variation on this one will be a toe tap. So you leave that one leg up in a tabletop position and you just lower the other leg as you tap your toe on the floor on your mat. And then a more rigorous option would be to have both of your legs straight and you lower one at a time. You can even add a little pulse at the bottom. 1, 2, pull it up. 1, 2. This is working more the lower portion of the rectus abdominis, stabilizing exercise. If you're kind of in between those two, you could start with bent legs and extend to straight. It's more of an intermediate variation. So whatever one works for you, just listen to your body, do what works. We'll do one more on each leg. And then bring those knees into your chest, releasing that low back. Feel nice, hopefully. You can rock side to side. You bring those feet down and then walk your feet out to the outside edges of your mat. Your arms are open in a nice T position. We'll do that windshield wiper. The ancient yoga pose called windshield wiper. Just kidding. This one is one of my favorites. Feels so good. So just drawing that knee toward the ground, taking your time with it, kind of exploring this. You might pause at a specific point that feels good to you. The next time those knees are to your left, so both knees at the left, you would lift up that left foot, place it on the outside of your thigh. A little extra opening there through the low back and the hip and the waist. And then keeping that ankle crossed where it is, we're just going to rotate those legs back up. And here we are in our reclined pigeon, or figure 4. So you can pull that knee in, feeling that nice stretch in the glute area back here. You can try flexing both feet. That'll change that stretch up a little bit. On your next exhalation, go ahead and draw that foot back down, uncross, walk those feet out nice and wide, arms open to a T, and then let those knees fall to your right side. Lifting up your right foot, put it on the outside of the left. Give yourself a couple more breaths here. Leaving that ankle right where it's at, just go ahead and rotate those legs up. And then pulling that thigh into that figure 4. Again, if you want to flex both your feet, that kind of changes the feeling of it. You can keep them relaxed, whatever works for you. So you should feel that opening and that stretch in the back of the glute, the right glute. Let's release that ankle and we extend those legs out. We're going to roll over onto our abs. Let's come up into Sphinx pose. Elbows are below those shoulders. Legs are long. Engage the glutes. Kind of push that pubic bone down, belly button in, and try to open up a little bit more through your chest. Your sternum area. Shoulders are away from those ears. If you're kind of down like this, you're going to push away. Look straight ahead along the horizon. It's a nice gentle extension for the back. And then lowering down, hands right below those shoulders, hug those elbows in towards your body. We're going to inhale into a baby cobra. Remember, squeeze those glutes, pubic bone down, belly button in. And again, inhale, lift up a little bit further. And exhale down. 2 more times, warming up that back. Shoulders slide back on your back if you're trying to tuck them in your back pockets. Chest is open, collarbone wide. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, go ahead and press with those hands. Nice, strong, lift those hips up and draw back into your child's pose. Let's do a flow sequence. Inhale into modified plank. So we're on our knees. I shift just a little bit forward so as we lower down and get those elbows about 90 degrees. Inhale into cobra, connect those hips. And exhale back into your child's pose. Inhale back into modified plank. Now let's all check our form on that low push-up. See if we can get that nice 90-degree angle and hold. I know that takes a lot of strength. Inhale, connect those hips. Cobra, wide collarbone, engaged glutes. Exhale into child's pose. It's a lot for the arms. We're building up that strength up there. Let's do that one more time. Inhale into modified plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale. Let's curl those toes under and press back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Ears between the upper arms. If you'd like to walk your dog, you're welcome to. Kind of feeling like holding the dog here. So I'm just going to hold it, but if you want to walk it, you can. So in this one, tailbone back and up. Try to create a little more space between the vertebrae. Give yourself one more deep breath here. Inhale, exhale. And on your next inhalation, shift forward into full plank. Always an option to do modified. Hold this for a couple breaths. Belly button pulled in, pressing, kind of hollowing out that chest a little bit. You have space in that shoulder joint. Looking straight down between those fingertips, neutral neck. Nice, strong, straight line. Even the legs are engaged. Exhale back to down dog. If you'd like to try a three-legged dog, the right leg comes up. Inhale, lift. If you don't want to do three-legged dog, you're just doing regular down dog. And as we shift to plank, you can do regular plank or modified, or you can bring one knee in as we do that solid plank. And then coming back to down dog or three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale into plank or knee in. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, knee comes in, and if you'd like to step up between your hands, please do that, or help your foot come up. Draw that back, knee down, and curl the toe. We're going to feel a blanket out of the knee. That might feel pretty nice. As you inhale, let's engage those abs and lift up into sort of a crescent shape where we expand through the belly and the chest. You can keep your arms open here, or you can clasp them. Depends on the your shoulders feel, so just kind of think about that. And then since our right leg is forward, we're going to bring our right arm down and place it on our thigh. We do a nice side bend over to our right side. Now, alternatively, if you have a block, you can do it this way, where you're supporting that hand on the block with the block up high. I call this position daddy, mommy, baby. I don't know if anyone's down at the baby level on that one, but you never know. Okay, let's come back up. Bring both hands now on the inside of that leg. There we go. This might feel more tense on the inner portion of your thigh. And for those of you that feel like you want to bring it down to a new level, you could draw to your forearms. Alternatively, you could draw to your forearms on your block. I wish I was doing this the other way. Easier to show you. There we go. And as you're doing that, kind of push that knee into me, so I'm, not letting that knee fall open to the side. It's still staying above the ankle. So just do what feels right for you. It used to be I used to bring my arms all the way down to the mat, and as I've gotten older, it doesn't feel good in my body. So I don't do that anymore. All right, so keeping that left hand down, the right arm is going to reach out, and you're going to reach it up to the sky with your palm facing the same direction you're looking. And option just to reach back like this, just straight back, or you can keep it up where it feels good to you. Another option would be to lift that foot up and see if you can grab hold. Now in this position, this knee can kind of rotate out, so it kind of rolls to the outside edge of your foot. Now that may not be accessible for you, and that's okay. That's why we have this option. It'll still feel like a nice hip opening, a nice opening of that shoulder joint. Whatever works for you. Okay, if you have hold of your foot, you can release, extend, and go back open, little rainbow, all the way up and over. This time, one hand on each side. Let's slide back into half split or half monkey. That front leg is pretty straight, although if you have tight hamstrings, you might have a bend, one hand on each side. Blocks on each side will help if you're pretty tight back there.
to utilize those blocks. Slide your weight forward, curl that back to under. Here we are into our lunge position. Step that front foot to meet the back foot into plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. We'll try everything on the opposite side. So if you prefer down dog, just stay here. If you'd like to try to lift that other leg up, the left leg, go ahead. Three-legged dog, hips are pretty even. So we're not opening that hip on this one. Even distribution of your weight in each hand. And as you exhale, move to plank or knee comes in with your plank. And back up. And come in. So if you are doing just regular down dog, you're just going plank down dog. Always an option to do modified plank. Do one more. Okay. And then on the last one, everyone's going to step the left foot up between the hands. Give it a little assistance if it needs it. Draw that back knee down and curl the toe. Front knee is above that ankle. Let's lift up into a crescent lunge position where those arms can be nice and wide and open, or you can clasp them above your head, whatever feels good to you. Hips are forward like headlights. Feel that nice opening through that quad, hip flexor. And then the option, left arm goes on the thigh, lateral side bend to your left, or remember that block coming down, and you can rest your hand on that block. I tend to like that one better just because I can feel it more. You get kind of push against that block. You really feel that opening in that iliopsoas. Inhale, lift up. As we bring those hands down, bring both hands on the inside. And this is where you have an option to hang out here. You're hugging that knee in towards your body that's in front. Or you can draw down to your forearms. I'll show you that on the side of the block. Like this. And hugging that knee in toward the body. And then coming back up, if you're on your forearms, right arm stays on the inside, left arm is going to reach forward. And then up, and as you do that, you're going to rotate so that palm faces the same direction that you're looking. Shoulders open, press into that standing hand so you're not sagging in that shoulder joint. And then you're going to reach back. So option here to lift up and grab hold of that foot. That's going to be not accessible for me, so I'm not going to do it. Just going to hang out here. And actually, it feels nicer for me to bring that arm up. So just check in with your body and do the position that feels best for you. Again, if you are holding onto that foot and you want to roll to the outside edge of that front foot, that's okay. Give that a try as well. You can even put your hand on your hip, like this, as you do. And then releasing that foot if you have hold. We're gonna reach up and over like a rainbow, all the way down. And then shift that weight back into your half monkey, half split. And using your blocks to extend your reach, especially if you're really tight, packing your hamstrings, which is very common. Give yourself a couple more breaths here. Shifting your weight forward, curl that back to under. Leg out, nice strong back leg. Step the front foot to meet the back foot into your flank. Pressing through those hands, hollowing out your chest a little bit. You have some space in that shoulder joint, belly buttons in. Look straight down, a strong plank. Exhale into down facing dog. Give yourself a couple breaths here. Mat's getting a little slippery. Do something about that. Okay, inhale back to plank. And I'm going to have everyone go to modified plank. So I'm going to show the modifications first round, and then we'll move to full plank option if you choose. So here we are, modified plank. Belly buttons in. I kind of just slightly tuck my tailbone just so my bottom's not sticking out. It's pretty common right here. So just to cue that engagement. I'm going to open up to our right. So my top leg is like a kickstand. My hips are forward, so I'm not sitting back like this. And then that standing hand, I'm pressing into the mat, a strong arm. If I'm feeling this in my wrist and it feels uncomfortable, I can draw down to my forearm where my fingertips are facing the same direction I'm looking. So this is a side plank. So your choice, you can have your hand up or like this. I'm showing this version. Then let's rotate back to a modified plank. So if I'm on my forearm, I'm just going to slide this other hand in like this. When I go to my regular plank, or modified on the knees. And then let's open up to the left side. So if you are up on your hands, you just go to modified plank and you rotate to the opposite side. So I'm showing the modified version here. Keep breathing. Even if you're on your forearm, you're pressing into that forearm. Bring a nice strong core, belly button in. Neutral position with your neck. Let's bring that hand down. Okay, you can repeat that modified, or if you want to go to full side plank, legs come up. You can do full side plank on your forearm as well. If you're looking for more challenge, you can lift that top leg up. Balance. That seems crazy to you, don't do it. Just leave the leg down and enjoy it. This one's good. You might be shaking a little bit. This is an intense one. All right, everyone's looking great. Bring that hand down. Let's open up to the opposite side. Again, press into that standing hand to create a strong shoulder. Option to lift that leg up at the top. And then bringing that hand down. And we deserve a child's pose, don't we? Go ahead and bring those knees in, draw those hips back. Any way you like your child's pose. You can have wide legs with the toes together. You can wrap your arms. This might feel nice for the shoulders. Kind of open up those shoulder blades. Just enjoy that for a little while. And now coming up to all fours, and let's do a few cat-cows before we move to a standing position. It was quite a lot of work close to our mat, which I kind of like sometimes. It's nice to kind of feel a little grounded in yoga for a while. Do some core strength work. Hey, curling those toes under. Go ahead and press back and just keep walking those hands all the way to your feet. So now we're going to the back of our mats. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting into your chair. Inhale, press up through the heels and open. Okay, I'm going to get my blanket out of the way here and get started with a flow sequence. I'm kind of modeling what we did on Monday by doing a little bit of a slow flow, holding each position a little bit longer. Inhale, arms up. Exhale into Uttanasana, forward fold, leading with that heart center. Push those hips back, nice flat neutral back as long as you can keep it flat. And then we'll relax into it. We're going to walk the hands forward into plank or modified plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. If you like, right leg comes up, inhale. This time you can open up your hip. Bring that heel towards the bottom. Inhale, lift again. Exhale, drawing that knee into the chest. Go ahead and step on through those hands or help yourself get that foot up there, however it works for you. As we inhale and lift up, we're going to go to warrior one. So you go ahead and slide that heel down and pivot that back foot. Warrior one. Exhale, we're going to draw our hands behind our back, clasp, or give you another option. We're going to humble warrior. You can put your arms in prayer position behind your back. That may not feel okay for some of us for a shoulder. So you can pick which one you prefer as we come forward. I like this one better, so I'm going to do that one. Humble warrior. So we kind of bow forward, draw our head in. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel down, bring that back heel up as you come all the way down. Step back into plank. We're going to open up to side plank. So remember, all those options apply. You can move yourself to modified, whatever you wish. Now this one, we're not going to actually hold that long just because it's so strenuous. So come on down. I'm going to move more quickly on that one. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Bending those knees slightly. We're going to walk those hands back toward our feet into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting into your chair. Inhale, up and open. Awesome. Okay, we should be back on the back of our mat again. So if you're not there, you can adjust and we'll do everything on the opposite side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive with that nice flat neutral spine, leading with that heart center. Opening up through those hamstrings, coming down. Inhale, walking forward into plank. Exhale, down dog. Option to hold your dog, or you could lift that left leg up. On the inhale, opening up that hip, even out the weight on both your hands. Heel comes toward the bottom. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee comes into the chest. I kind of keep my hips up a little bit so I can get that foot forward. And give yourself a little help if you like. And then take your time here. We're getting ready to come up into warrior one. So engaging those abs, you can swivel that back foot. Warrior one. Arms come back behind you in either that prayer position or clasp. You can even put your hands on your hips. Humble warrior. Inhale into horse warrior. Really opening up through that rib cage. Exhale, let's cartwheel those arms. As you do that, lift that heel up so you can turn your hips forward and stepping back into plank. Here's where we can draw to our knees and we're going to open up to the left into regular plank or modified side plank. Neutral position with your neck. Let's come on down. You can move a little more quickly on that one. Exhale into downward facing dog. Bend the knees. And then walk those hands. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sit back into chair. How about a little lower in a chair? Why not? And then come on up. A lot of strength there. Great job. And we're going to do that again on each side. I'm going to give you the option to flip your dog or do the wild thing. We do that three-legged dog. That's definitely an advanced option, so don't feel compelled to do that if you're not feeling it today for whatever reason. So just giving an option for some of the people that want to go to that next level. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive, back heart center, nice flat neutral back. There we go. Excellent. Let's walk out to our plank position. That's a little strength move there. Downward facing dog. You can either hold here or right leg comes up, opening up through that hip. Heel comes toward the bottom. I like to kind of square out my left hand in the middle to give some more stability. So that when I flip my dog, this leg that's up in the air is going to just kind of step down, and I extend out my opposite leg. So the step down leg is bent, the other leg is straight. It's kind of like a side plank we've been doing. And then we'll rotate back gracefully, right? And lift that leg up, and then bring that knee in, stepping through. Take your time here. We're in lunge position, and we're moving to warrior one. When you're ready, inhale, warrior one. That heel shifts back. That back foot's pointing at about 10 o'clock. Nice, strong back leg. We're straight up from the hips. Arms come behind, hips. Clasp, prayer, your choice. Expand through that chest. Humble warrior. And then inhale, reaching forward, reverse warrior. Is my AC really still on? Like, who's cranking that in this house? Someone's gonna get it. And then let's cartwheel those arms. Make sure you lift up that back heel, spread out those hips. Come on down. Step back into plank. Ready for that modified plank. Again, if your wrists are really feeling it, side plank. We were on our wrists a lot because we're doing lots of planks, lots of side planks, the wild thing. So feel free. Give them a little break. Okay, coming back to that plank position. Down dog. Bend those knees. I like this one. Feels great to open up that back. Lock your hands in. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting back in the chair. Get a little bit lower. Work those legs. And press up. Yes. Okay, refresh those feet. You're at the back of your mat. To do it one more time on the opposite side. Okay, inhale, arms up. Exhale. Swan dive, flat neutral spine, all the way down we go. Inhale, walking forward. Nice solid plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then our left leg comes up. There we go. You want to stay in down dog, please do. Bringing that heel to the bottom so that hip is open. Then that right hand is going to come a little bit more on the middle portion. I can adjust mine. If you want to flip your dog, that foot right there is just going to step down. The other leg is going to extend as you push those hips up. And that standing hand is the most important piece. You really want to push on that standing hand so that you have space in that shoulder joint, nice strong position. And then we'll gracefully flip back. Mine's not so graceful. Protecting my knee. Bring that leg up. And then bring your knee into the chest as you step forward, everyone. To the hands. Between the hands. Take your time here. Preparing warrior one. When you're ready, back foot is at 2 o'clock. Come on up. And then hands come behind our back for humble warrior, however you prefer. And then inhale, cartwheel those arms backwards. Let's do reverse warrior. And windmill forward. Pick up that back heel. And all the way down. Step back in plank. Or modified plank. Whatever works for you. Open up to your left into left side plank. Again, remember all those options apply. So you can be on your forearm, you can have your knee down. So don't feel like you have to go to the extreme when you do yoga. It's like most yoga thing you can do is get out of your ego and just do what you're feeling. Like maybe you do want, yeah, I really feel good. I want it. This feels good in my body. I want this strength being built today, or you know what, this feels great for me right here. So just listen to your body, come back down. Back into downward facing dog. Nice soft knees. Walking back. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sitting into your chair. And inhale, pressing up and open. All right, that built up some heat for me. How about you? Does it feel good? All right, before we make our way down, I like to do a little bit of wrist work because we're up on our wrists a lot with our planks. And it can be a good thing. We can build up strength, but it can also be a little tiring. So we want to be cautious with those. So I want you to create where you have your fingertips touching your thumb. Looks like this. You're just going to rotate in a circle. Add a little fun to it. You can come up into stork pose while you do it. Since you're like a little stork. And I'm going to switch my leg and I'm going to rotate in the opposite way. If you already switched your rotation, it doesn't matter. Just go both ways again. Okay. Let's do some wrist flossing. So you're going to clasp your hands with your palms facing your chest. And one wrist is going to come forward and one comes back. It kind of looks like that. Go a little bit closer. I saw everyone go towards their camera a little bit, so. And then switch. One forward, one back. This one is a great one to do as well if you're typing a lot, you're at your computer. So now our palms are down, but our hands are still clasped. One's going to go up, one's going to go down. And then we'll switch. And then our palms will, wait, is that right? I started with that one, right? No, this way, up this way. That's what I want to do. Palms forward. One forward, one back. This is where I end up feeling it the most. And switch around. And last one, back to the hands together. And just let your elbows fall like this. It looks weird, but if we all do it, it's not too bad. You can do it like this. And you can even sweep it like this. Awesome, okay. All right, let's make our way down onto our mat. So it's a unique way to cool down. I had you standing a little bit just because we were working pretty hard. Now I feel like a little bit more cooler to get to our mat. So let's roll onto our back and open up into a butterfly position. So the soles of the feet are together. You can either grab hold of your lower legs or your ankles. Kind of draw those knees open. Pull the feet in close to your body. If you'd like to open up into Happy Baby, you're welcome to do that. So opening up those heels pointed to the ceiling, the knees are pretty wide. And you can rock your baby here. So you can stay here, you can extend out one leg at a time, or both legs. If that feels too intense to you, just stick with your Happy Baby. Just give them some options once you're here. And then releasing those feet, go ahead and bring your feet down and keep your feet about hip distance apart. And just draw those knees, just a gentle twist, drawing those knees over to the side. And up and over to the other side. And then back to the center. And let's get ready for our Shavasana. Extending out those legs, however you feel comfortable. Your hands on your lap or out to the side. If you feel like closing your eyes, you can do that. If you like to keep them open, that's fine too. As you settle into your Shavasana, let's focus in on our heart center. Just take a deep breath right in the center of your heart area.
Just allowing a feeling of comfort and peace and relaxation to melt through your body. Everything's gonna be okay. I'd like you to think now of anything that's causing you any stress or discomfort or concern, and I want you to just use your imagination on that scenario. I want you to imagine a positive outcome in that concern. What can you visualize that could be the best outcome or resolution or what you'd like to have happen? It could be something as simple as getting a good grade on an exam that you're worried about, or the positive resolution of a conflict in a relationship. Whatever that is, just use your imagination. When you're done using your imagination, I want you to just close that out, kind of like at the end of a movie scene where it's dark on the outside edges and it kind of closes in like a circle. And so it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Start to take some deeper, more invigorating breaths and make your way back up to the seated position. Bring those hands to your heart center, Anjali Mudra, and up to the forehead. Namaste.